Hello everyone. Previously we have created the center line, and now I'm going to plot the velocity and temperature and the pressure also on this line. And the command we are going to use is known as the chart command, and this will produce XY plot. Now in the CFD post, click on the chart tool, and here also you can see the table tool where you can have the constant values or single values at some locations. And now click on chart to create the chart. Chart 1, you can also put the name for the chart 1, and you can also put the name for the title, and then go to data series, and here the series 1. So let's say we call series 1 as the velocity, and it's the coarse mesh, and apply. And now I'm going to, and if you want to put the title, you can put the title here also, and let's say it's velocity versus center line, and apply. And now I'm going to, in the data series, I'm going to select the location, which is the polyline 1. And on the x-axis, if you take a look on these graphs, you can see this is a chart count. And on the vertical axis, the y-axis, we have the variable of interest. And here I'm going to choose the y-axis. Let's say first is the pressure, and so how pressure is varying. You can select the velocity and the temperature. If not, you can find out from here. And sometimes if you don't see any variable here, so you have to export the variable explicitly from the Fluent for the CFD post, and apply. And one more thing, if I change again back to the velocity here, and one more thing is that I want to change the dynamic display to some other value. Let's say I want to first option, use series name for the legend name, which is here the velocity course. And if you don't want to use it, then you can put your own name also. For example, I can just put the course mesh, or I can make it name as a capital for the C, and it's a course mesh, and apply. And line size automatic here, I can change to the solid, let's say, or dash. And also it has automatically generate the line color. You can uncheck this box and have the color of your own choice. Next thing is the line type. There are also other options like bars and the steps. The next thing is the symbols. You can put the symbol. By default there is no symbol on the line. You can put the symbol, say ellipse here, and automatically generate symbol color. And if you uncheck this box, you have the option for choosing your own color, let's say like this. And also you can, if you go to chart display, you can change the size of the line. Let's say now make it 4. And for the symbols, you can change the size also, and now they will look like a bigger one. You can change the size of the line, let's say to the 3. And also you can change the title size, which is right now set Tohama 12B, which is a bold here. You can, let's say, change to the 18. And apply. Now the size has been changed here. And similarly, you can have the minor horizontal and vertical lines, which you can see here. And you can also have the choice of these lines width here. Let's say make it for minor is 1, or even you can hide the minor from the screen. And for the axis, I can again change the size as 12. And apply. And similarly for the legend, and also for the axis titles. And let's say for the axis, this will change the size of the numbers on the axis. Also make it 12 here, and apply. And one more thing is that you can see that it says display legend. If you uncheck this box, this will be removed from the screen. And also if you want, you can also put the inside the chart, which is by default is outside, in this way. And now you can make it the x certification, let is on the center, and in the y-distribution is on the bottom. And you can also change the width to height ratio, which is here. And if you want to make on the right side, on the x location, you can also do it, or maybe on the left side. And you can do this one for the remaining points. One more thing is that if you take a look on the polyline, we can change the width of the polyline also, and nothing more can be done here. But if you create line directly from the points in the CFD post, from the 2 points, and that is to plot the line, in this line option you can have the option to select the multiple points. So right now we have the whatever points we have with us for the line which we got from the space claim into that text file, and from there we created line. So these points which are here, they are limited to those points here. But if you go for the, let's say if I go for the second option, that is from the contour, and I put the value as 2, and now I can see that we have the somehow different type of the values here. And now let's say I duplicate this polyline and duplicate, and one I will be creating for that I am creating, let's say, from the file, and apply, and you can feel the difference between these two lines. It's a very slight difference between these two lines. And if I change the color to the polyline 1, let's say, and which is from the file, and second one is from the contour, and if I change the color to the, let's say, to the blue color, so you can see this is just on the symmetry plane, and second one is slightly offset. But if you take a look on the results, and if I draw it, so you can see that, let's say here, let's say I want to plot these two lines on each other. So I have to go to again to the chart, and here I'm going to add the one more series, and this series is the polyline 2, and location is the polyline 2, and apply, and the same values on the both values. So you can see there's a difference between the results. Now this can be because of the way we are putting the values. You can see they are in the reverse order, which is clearly seen here. Okay, so for the polyline 2, which is I created from the points, and I just reversed the point location, and the last point now is the first point, and similarly second last is the second point here. And now I'm going to read these points into the polyline 2 here, polyline 1 here, which is from the file, and here I'm going to read this file, which is a polyline reversed, open, and apply. And now you can see that there's a difference between the polyline 1 and the mesh and the polyline from the contour plots. So you can see this is from the file, and this is from the contour. This is from the contour too, and if you take a look on these both files, you can see that we have the difference of this much. And because of this, we have the difference between the results, which is maybe very high on this region, which is over here. And this can be because of the less points available for data interpolation. But if you take a look on this point, which is over here, or maybe chart count number 10, and if you don't see any point, but if you look at this point has the value of velocity 0.2, but this point has a velocity of the 0.7, and the chart count is based on how much counting we have between the lines. So now you should be careful about these things when you plot these charts, whether you go from the polyline based on the contour plots from the surface, and that is from STL file, or you go directly from the coordinates from that original file. One more thing I did here, that on the x-axis I just changed the variable from chart count to the x-axis, and now you can see the difference between these two plots, which is the line 1 which is created from the contour plot of the z-axis, and second is from the coordinates of the line, which are the xyz coordinates for the center line. And you can see that the difference is very small here now. And when you go for the mesh count, so in the mesh count basically it takes the number of the mesh points which are available there, and by default if you go for the number of the points which you create directly from the file, and these points are limited. And whereas if you take a look on the points which are created by software, they are maybe the various number of the points there. So based on the mesh count they are different, but once you normalize them on the x-axis, they are now somehow different values here. So my recommendation is that whenever you want to take the values, so you should always check how different variables they will behave by plotting data in the different locations, and what is the meaning of physical significance of these variables on your results.